That morning began like any other, except Sarah wasn't there beside me. Normally, she'd leave a small note before heading out. Love you or see you tonight. But that day, the table was empty. At first, I brushed it off, thinking maybe she'd rush to work, when she didn't answer my calls, though a quiet unease began to settle in my chest. By noon, I still hadn't heard from her. I called her office, trying to sound casual, but one of her coworkers said, "Oh, she left early this morning. Said she had something personal to take care of." That phrase, something personal, didn't sit right. She hadn't mentioned any errands, and her phone going straight to voicemail made the feeling worse. I told myself she probably needed some space or forgot her charger. I wanted to believe that. But as hours passed, those little lies I told myself stopped working. By evening, I was pacing the living room, staring at the phone like it could will her to respond. "Are you okay? Please just text me." I wrote nothing. The silence grew heavier with every minute. Around 11 that night, the front door creaked open. I turned, heart pounding, relief flooding through me for a split second before confusion took its place. She walked in as if nothing was wrong, calm and detached. "Where have you been?" I asked, my voice trembling. "I've been calling you all day." She looked at me with that half smile, not warm, but mocking. "You know what?" she said lightly. The tone made my stomach twist. "What's that supposed to mean?" I asked. She didn't answer, just walked past me into the kitchen, opened the fridge, and poured herself a glass of water like I wasn't even there. "Sarah, answer me," I demanded. "You disappear for a whole day and come home acting like this?" She sighed, still not looking at me. "You're overreacting, David. I needed some time to think. I don't have to explain every move I make." Her words cut through me sharper than if she'd shouted. For months, I felt her slipping away. The secretive phone calls, the sudden plans, the late nights. I kept telling myself she was just stressed. But that calm, almost bored tone told me everything I didn't want to admit. "What were you thinking about?" I asked quietly. "About us," she said after a pause. "About whether this marriage even makes sense anymore." The air in the room went still. I felt the weight of those words like a punch. "So you disappear all day, just come home, and tell me you're thinking about leaving?" I asked. She didn't reply, just stared at the floor, tapping her fingers against the counter. "Maybe we rushed into things," she murmured. That night, I didn't sleep. I watched her lying on her side of the bed, her face lit by her phone screen, scrolling endlessly. I didn't ask what she was looking at. I didn't want to know. The next morning, I made breakfast. She didn't touch it. "I'm meeting someone," she said, slinging her purse over her shoulder. "Don't wait up." Her voice was cold, final. I didn't ask who. I already knew. Later that morning, I got in my car and followed her, driven by something between fear and desperation. She parked near a small park and met a man by the fountain. I stayed far enough not to be seen. She laughed with him, not politely, but freely, the kind of laugh I hadn't heard in months. When he reached for her hand, she didn't pull away. That was the moment I knew. Whatever we had was already gone. That evening, I sat at the dining table waiting for her. When she walked in, I said calmly, "I saw you at the park." Her eyes widened. "It's not what it looked like," she said quickly. "Please, let me explain." I shook my head. "I've listened long enough. Sarah, I've waited, trusted, forgiven, but I can't do it anymore. You vanished without a word, and now I've seen the truth for myself." She started crying, saying she was confused, that she never meant to hurt me, but I'd run out of energy for excuses. I stood, walked to the drawer, and pulled out an envelope I prepared that afternoon. Placing it on the table, I said quietly, "This is a divorce notice. I'm not angry, Sarah. I just want peace." Her face went pale. "David, please don't do this." "We can fix it," she begged, voice breaking. But there was nothing left to fix. "You made your choice the moment you smirked at me that night," I said softly. As I walked out of that house, the one where we once made plans for a lifetime, I felt something strange. Not pain, not rage, just calm. The silence didn't hurt anymore. It healed. Some endings aren't about revenge or punishment. They're just the truth, finally spoken out loud. And for me, that truth was clear. Love can survive many storms, but not betrayal and never indifference. That night, I slept alone for the first time in years. And for once, it felt right.